So you've probably heard the word protocol thrown around a ton, especially in tech circles, right? But what does it really mean? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. We're going to answer that big question. What is a protocol?
Okay, believe it or not, it all starts with something super simple. Just this one word, hi. I mean, think about it. This is how we kick off almost every conversation. It's like the most basic human protocol there is, and we all just get it.
And when you say hi, what do you expect to hear back? Yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's another hi, right? That simple little exchange, that back and forth, it's all guided by this set of unwritten rules. You could even just call it good manners.
And what's so cool about this, what's really fascinating, is that this super simple human thing is the perfect key to understanding the whole kind of complex world of computer networking. You know, we follow these social protocols all the time without even thinking about it. And as you're about to see, computers, well, they do pretty much the exact same thing.
All right, so let's build on that simple greeting. Let's look at something a little more complex, but still totally human.
Okay, so let's take it one step further. Picture this. You need to ask someone for the time. What do? First, you say hi, right? That gets their attention. Then they say hi back, which basically means, yep, I'm here, I'm listening. Then you make your request. Got the time? And finally, they give you the answer, the data you wanted. It's 2 o'clock. See? It's a really clear, logical sequence of messages and actions.
And believe it or not, that simple exchange brings us right to the official technical definition. A protocol is really just a set of rules that govern communication. It spells out 3 super important things. First, the format of the messages, what they look like. Second, the order they have to be sent in. And third, the actions that need to happen when a message is sent or received.
Okay, that's how people do it. But how does this whole idea translate to the world of computers? Well, let's take a look at how 2 machines have a surprisingly similar chat.
So check this out. When your computer wants to grab a web page, it follows almost the exact same script. It starts by using a protocol called TCP to send out a connection request. That's the computer's version of hi. The web server on the other end sends back a TCP reply, which is basically, hi, right back at you. Then your computer uses another protocol, HTTP, to send what's called a GET request. That's the got the time part. And what does it get back? The file for the web page. That's the computer's 2 o'clock.
And this just perfectly illustrates the main idea here. It doesn't matter if we're talking about people or machines, the basic structure is the same. When you boil it all down, network protocols are just, well, they're just organized, structured conversations.
But hang on a second. This whole thing works beautifully if everyone agrees on the rules. So, what happens if they don't? I mean, just think about that for a second. Imagine a world where every single company, Apple, Google, Microsoft, you name it, made up their own private rules for how to say hi or ask for a web page. What would that even look like?
Well, you'd get this. Pure chaos. Total breakdown. It would be impossible to get anything to work. If devices can't agree on the rules of the road, no useful work can get done. It's like you're trying to have a conversation, but one person's speaking French and the other only gets Japanese. It's just noise. And that right there is exactly why we have groups called standards bodies. And when it comes to the internet, the big one, the most important one you need to know, is the Internet Engineering Task Force. You'll hear them called the IETF. So what do these folks do? Basically, the IETF's job is to write the official rule books for the entire internet. It's a huge deal. They develop all these standards, and then they publish them in these documents called RFCs, which stands for a request for comments, and there are thousands of them, over 7,000 in fact, and they define everything. Protocols like TCP, IP, HTTP, all the stuff that makes the internet work. They're the reason your Dell laptop can talk to an Apple server without any problems.
Okay, so now we know what protocols are and why they are so critical. So let's meet a few of the stars of the show, the most important members of this protocol family. And trust me, you use these every single day. First up, let's talk about HTTP. That's the Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This is, for all intents and purposes, the language of the World Wide Web. It's the set of rules that tells your browser how to ask a server for a web page and how that server should send it back. Literally every single time you type an address into your browser and hit enter, it's HTTP that's doing all the talking in the background.
All right, next up we have TCP, the Transmission Control Protocol. The best way to think about TCP is like the internet's ultra-reliable, certified delivery service. It guarantees that your data gets where it's going. I mean, think about it. When you're downloading a big file or streaming a movie, you need every last piece of that data to show up, and it has to be in the right order. Well, that's TCP's job. It breaks everything into little packets, keeps track of every single one, and puts them all back together perfectly on the other end.
And then there's its partner, IP, the Internet Protocol. Now, if TCP is the delivery service, IP is the global addressing system. It's the thing that gives every single device on the Internet a unique address. You've heard of it, the IP address. Its whole job is to slap that address on every single packet of data, kind of like a mailing label. So all the routers out there on the Internet know exactly where to send it.
And finally, let's bring it closer to home with protocols like Wi-Fi and Ethernet. These are all about the rules for local conversations. They're designed to solve a really common problem. What happens when a bunch of devices are all trying to use the same connection at the same time? Well, these protocols act like a polite traffic cop or a meeting moderator. They make sure everyone, your phone, your laptop, your smart TV, all get a turn to speak on the network without talking over each other.
All right, so after all that, what's the big takeaway? What's the most important thing to remember?
Let's just wrap it all up. At the end of the day, a protocol is just a set of rules for communication. It's like good manners, but for computers. These rules define the message format, their order, and what to do with them. And it's all made possible by organizations like the IETF, which take what could be total chaos and turned into the structured, reliable, global conversation we call the Internet. But you know, that kind of leaves us with a new question, doesn't it? We've met all these important protocols, but where do they actually live? Like inside our computers and phones? And how do they all stack and work together to connect us from our little screen all the way out to the edge of the network? Something to think about.